never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up.
The past is gone. Now's the future.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of the Weekly Review. My name is Mike Larkin, and as always, I am joined by my boys, DC and the dead man of RWT, Paul Morales. I guess the best way to open up this fine program is, hey, boys, what's up?
Breaking news.
What's up?
So,
well,
what do you want to talk about?
yeah.
So, what
What's
do you
up?
want to talk about?
Well, I'm going to tell you what we're going to talk
What's up?
What's up? It even hurts my soul now. So the breaking news of today.
Is that where your adrenaline is?
Adrenaline is in my soul. Yes. So Ron Killings, R-Truth, has posted on social media. I'm sorry to inform you all. I just got released from WWE. I want to thank WWE for the ride, but mostly I want to thank each and every one of you who was along for the ride. Thank you for all the love, support, and appreciation you have given me over the years. Thank you. So R-Truth's second run in the WWE from 2008 to 2025, 17 years, is over. And yeah, he's been getting a lot of outpouring of love from superstars, from fans, and from everybody. And the latest we have on the R-Truth story as well is, as word made the rounds that R-Truth's WWE exit was legitimate, the response from those in the company was absolutely a feeling of disbelief. A few wondered if Truth had been offered another role as an ambassador, similar to the role that Titus O'Neil fills for the company, and if not, why not given him how beloved the character has been. So, y'all, let's talk about this. R-Truth has been released. People were in shock. People were in disbelief. They thought this now era with TKO was ruthless. Everybody has got something to say about the release of R-Truth, not renewing his contract. The man gave us laughs. He gave us moments. He gave us memories. He was a true gem of WWE, even when WWE was not at the hottest point in its time. So I'll start with Paul on this. R-Truth, gone.
This is a sad, sad day for all of us as wrestling fans. Ron Killings, man, the myth, the legend, the 50-something time 24/7, 7-Eleven, I-40, I-95, European television champion. Man, I can't believe it, man. That hurts, dog. Of all of them that have ever been there, dog, this one fucking hurts more than anything, man. I love Truth. We all love Truth, but God, man, I seriously thought when I saw it, what was going to pop up was him saying that this was like the
April Fools.
Yeah, the April Fools, and it's June 1st, and I'm like, oh man, I go, this band's over here trying to get us. He's going to try and say something to us, and and then, he's going to say, oh, oops, my bad, something like that, something along those lines. But that's not what we got, man. And then Sean Ross Sapp, not even like a couple minutes later, posted that it was legitimate. Denise, everybody, every outlet. You got Wrestle Purist here, PW Insider. It was like it trickled down, and as soon as everybody kept saying, "Come on, Truth, this is a lie. Come on, Truth, it's not April Fools," and then we had so many people posting. It's like, come on, man, this is a joke. But when the news came out that it was legit, it's hard, man. It's like, of all the people you don't want to see lose their jobs, we don't really want to see anybody lose their jobs, but man, it's R-Truth, man. He's like 11D.
The man doesn't age for someone in his 50s, the man is amazing.
Look at those abs. Those abs.
Those abs on R-Truth. The man takes his conditioning seriously.
I got one ab.
The man takes his
I'm
conditioning.
jealous. That man's got a 6-pack. I only got a keg.
the best part about this whole thing was, again, we talk about his championship runs with the 24/7 title that you see here, winning the United States Championship by accident against Shinsuke Nakamura, tag team champion. I mean, he got his WrestleMania moment last year with The Miz. Everything that we got to see from this man, he just put so many smiles on your faces, even when he was talking to little Jimmy. It's a national treasure's gone. I'm going to tell you right now, if we don't get at least one TNA appearance from him, that's going to hurt my soul. Because if you think of someone, NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, when you think of TNA, you think of R-Truth, you think of Ron the Truth Killings, you think of the 3 Live Crew with BG and Conan. If we could get him in TNA at least one time, I'm happy about it. Or even sign to a Legends deal. Hell, even have him teach promo class down at the Performance Center. Do something, but keep this man around because he is a gem. Dan, I'll go with you next. Your thoughts on the release of R-Truth not getting that contract renewed?
First, there's one place, and I can't believe I'm going to say it. I'll pay you.
I'll pay you. I love you. Come on to my company. What's up?
Like I'm normally the one, and you both know it, that says, no, he doesn't need to sign every. R-Truth is somebody, sign him. And let him be Ron Killings.
All right, I'm going to refute that. No, because they already have.
What? No, Michael.
No, what? What?
Just no.
No, what?
He needs to sign him, and more so to the point. You had somebody that gave their heart and soul to your company. You have somebody that literally did everything that they asked him to do. You had him dress up like a Confederate soldier.
Yes, he did.
And you had him do all this shit that made him look silly, look like a fool. Knowing how good he is, the average wrestling fan does not know how good Ron the Truth Killings is. We know. We've seen his TNA stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost wonder if this was also a message of basically showing people, like saying, hey, nobody's safe.
Which brings us to our next tweet that Paul pointed out. And this is from the one, the only WrestleMania.
The last point that I want to make on this, Mike,
bro,
is I think it is very clear that Triple H is not in control anymore.
Oh, no, it's all Ari Emanuel and TKO.
That much is very obvious. If he, maybe in creative-wise, he may have some control, but for how much longer?
Well, I think Triple H does have like a say, or has supervision, but I think people saying fuck Triple H need to really realize, like, it's not Triple H, it's TKO. It's not Triple H, which brings us to this fine tweet over here from WrestleMania, as it states, business is business, but I feel that ever since TKO has taken over WWE, they're slowly sucking the life out of WWE and are hell-bent on making a profit at any chance they can. Slowly but surely, they will make WWE into a soulless shell of what it used to be, which that's pretty much balls on, dead ass accurate when it comes to this fine company that is the WWE. So your thoughts on this tweet from WrestleMania?
I think that's going to be the worst part, is that, but it's true.
Yeah.
And that's a hard pill to swallow, given that Vince wanted to sell it to somebody who was going to, I don't know, in his words, want to expand the company.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're expanding it, but to what degree are we getting that expansion? It's in our mind, in the way we see things right now, it feels like it's oversaturated. It feels like we have all these pay-per-views, all these PLEs that are happening, all at once. And, the Saturday night main events, the Evolution 2 that's coming up, in July. And then it's like, the worlds collide, and then the purchase of AAA, and it just seems like, and we've mentioned this before, the eventual, we believe that they'll eventually buy out TNA, if it were to come up for sale. which I believe Anthem would sell a portion of it, because literally what WWE wants and what TKO wants is literally the library. And that's essentially what is right now for purchase. But it's just that it's hard to deny what is right in front of us. Is like we're getting like this oversaturation. And before we even jumped on, DC mentioned it about the way UFC is doing business now. As you know, and then it was what did you say 10 15 years ago, where it was
when you think around like the early days up until like mid 2010s, it took them a while to get to UFC 100, and then it took a while to get to UFC 200. Well, now they're on UFC 3 something. I mean, I remember when it was UFC 100, I bought that pay-per-view.
Yeah, so May 10th.
It was Brock Lesnar versus Frank Mir. Waste of a fucking main event, if you ask me.
Well, yeah, the last event, May 10th, was UFC 315 with Muhammad against Della Maddalena. And then May 31st is going to be UFC and ESPN. So they've already had UFC 315. So, yeah.
And it's to the point where it's oversaturating, like you said. You know, the only benefit, I mean, it'll be different in a way with WWE, whereas you can't have multiple WrestleManias per year.
No, you cannot.
Yet.
No, but that's the reason why I think that's why they expanded SummerSlam to be 2 nights. You know, I think that would be the summer version of what WrestleMania be for that time. You know, because it in my mind, it's like it doesn't make sense, but I get it from a standpoint of wanting to make money. It makes sense. But dude, what they're doing, and I will take Monday Night Raw, the premiere on Netflix. It was literally a 2.5 hour show, 5 matches, but a whole bunch of interviews.
Yes, very much so. And promos and showing the celebrities in the audience.
And I get it. We had some really, really good match. We had Punk and Rollins. We had Rhea versus Liv.
Roman and Solo.
And it, to me, it felt like it was like a takeover almost, but not as
good.
Boom, you know, with what goes on in a takeover. But I don't know, like it just seems like we're getting like this oversaturation of like so many freaking pay-per-views, PLEs, whatever you want to call them, you know, throughout the year, and it's hard to kind of keep up with them. You know, we're probably going to end up doing predictions 3 times a month, you know, at the rate we're going.
Yeah, well, we have this coming week is Money in the Bank and When Worlds Collide, and then at the end of the month it's Night of Champions from Saudi Arabia. So I mean, and then you got a few weeks after that, it's friggin' and a Great American Bash. It's All In and it's Evolution. So it's like all
this stuff, and people are being shocked that TKO is doing all this, like moving WrestleMania 42 to Vegas
again.
You really think that was a Triple H decision?
No, that was a TKO.
That was all TKO.
UFC TKO, babe.
And
that was that company right there. That
it will not be the last time.
If I had a telestrator, I'd write on it right now. I'd be like them right there.
Right there. Well, I will say them right there also gives us this. So not only is TKO and R-Truth done with the WWE, but Carlito will be exiting WWE. Similar to R-Truth, as PW Insider reports, Carlito's current WWE deal will not be renewed and once it's run its course, he will be departing the company. And Carlito's statement reads, "My contract is up in 2 weeks. It will not be renewed. On top of that, WWE is demanding I pay back the money they paid me for apparently stealing money from the company. I've had my lawyers look into it after reviewing my footage on Netflix. For the past months, they suggested I pay them back the money. All jokes aside, gracias WWE, and especially the WWE Universe. Los quiero mucho. P.S. I'll reappear again in another 13 years. Dios me los bendiga." And the Homer Simpson chip. So Carlito, who also just won the WWC, was a Universal World title last night in Puerto Rico for his father's promotion.
Yeah.
Which is cool to see him doing his thing back at his father's promotion. You guys, I mean, Dan, I'll start with you this time. The end of Carlito has come to an end for WWE. I mean, he's been there for 2 years, so.
The way they handled this second run for Carlito was stupid.
I mean, he got the pop at Backlash. Don't get me wrong; it was an amazing pop.
That was in Puerto Rico. It was in Puerto Rico. You knew you were gonna get it. You knew you were gonna get that Boricua.
And then you got the Royal Rumble pop, which every surprise entrant in Royal Rumble gets a pop. Andrade got a pop.
Yes.
And so I would say Carlito, while a little surprising, not totally surprising.
I mean, he comes back, he's with the LWO, then he turns on the LWO, and then he joins the Judgment Day, and he's randomly, and he's had some of the funniest stuff with the Judgment Day. The interaction with Raquel, him always, just saying funny stuff. Like, he's good. He was great as the comedic fodder for the Judgment Day.
I like every time he turn around and goes, "That's cool."
He made the most of it, though. I think with what Carlito had. I mean, like you mentioned, his second run kind of just being whatever, but still, this is probably the funniest I've had him been since, 2004, 2005 when he first came into WWE. I mean, his run with his brother as the tag team champions was fine, but like this is Carlito being funny, Carlito Caribbean cool, if you will. So yeah.
I think he was too serious the first time around. Like he just seemed like he was too serious, of a character. Then, you got those little fun moments, but I don't think he was able to kind of break out like he has been in these last couple of years that he's been there. I mean, he's had a lot. He's got comedic timing. Obviously, you can tell he's got that down pat. Whether it's doing segments in the ring or, being chased down by Braun Breaker, and taking that damn spear. We see it at the best of him, every time. So we know he's good. We know he's a good character. It's just whether he's being utilized, to the fullest. And right now, it just seems like he was just there. He was in the background. He wasn't really wrestling much, as a wrestler. So I'm not surprised, much like DC said earlier. I mean, we're not surprised, but still, we don't want to see anybody lose their job.
No.
And I you know what? And I agree. I agree with a lot of people who have been saying, give this man a Legends deal.
Yes.
You're dropping Legends deals just the other day, a couple of days ago, they gave a Legends deal to Demolition, which is far, far well deserved because they should have done that a long time ago. But I get
there's a lawsuit.
No, I know there's a lot to it, but I mean, even Vince didn't want to touch a lot of that, and Vince didn't really have a lot of Legend deals, available.
There was Leilani Kai just this past week.
Well, can I just say, Leilani Kai broke me with her. Finally, like she was so happy that they acknowledged her at Saturday's Night Main Event. That got me emotional.
And they should put it
for
this
sure.
way. Of everybody that competed at WrestleMania 1, she is only one of 3 to not be in the Hall of Fame.
Which is a damn shame, which I'm sure that's going to happen within the next
I'm going to say next year, more than likely. I wouldn't be surprised.
She deserves it. Like, there's a lot of people that need to definitely go in. I mean, we mentioned Sabu after his recent passing, definitely put Sabu in there.
Sid.
Like Sid. There's so many that need to definitely go in. But yeah, no.
Bray Wyatt?
Yeah, I know.
Hey,
Short
Cindy
up back.
Lauper.
Cyndi
if
Lauper.
if they're gonna put somebody in there that from WrestleMania 1, Cindy Lauper, because she's obviously not getting her
No.
due. You know, and there are so many people. Just on the other day, Natalia was talking on Busted Open, and she was talking about how they were playing, how when the girls' locker room right now just seems like a cohesive unit. And one of the things that they do is like they like to play music, and one of the favorite songs is "Girls Just Want to Have Fun," and it's coincidental because that's what they were playing on Natalia's freaking on for Natalia's birthday on the boat.
Yeah, man. Like, give me Cyndi Lauper, give me Victoria, give me anybody. Like, just that's the thing. I mean, Wendy Richter's already in. I would have said Wendy Richter, but I know Wendy Richter's already in.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, it's sad with Carlito. It's sad with R-Truth, but I think those two gentlemen are going to be fine. Like you mentioned, Pauline, before we came on, Ron's got a family. He's got music, so he'll be doing.
Money.
He's got money, so oof.
I'll pay you.
and he's gotten paid handily over the last few years. Like, dude has gotten paid, so it's not like he's begging for money. It's not like he's gonna be hurting for money. So, you know,
I mean,
shout out to R-Truth, man. We would love to have you on our show sometime. I'm just saying.
Hey, man.
Love to have you on. Love to talk wrestling. You know,
You can even bring little Jimmy.
You can bring little Jimmy.
Bring little Jimmy, please.
I mean, you could also, you know, I'm going to say this right now about R-Truth with Mr. Ron the Truth Killings. I mean, he got to face his childhood hero. He got a shirt out of it with Ron Cena. Like, come on now, man. I mean, at least we got that. We got him to face his childhood hero.
Man, we need more than that, man. We needed him to win. He should have won that match. You know, regardless of it being a non-title match, I get it. The way they did it, they gave him 4 minutes, you know, in the match. In my mind, he should have won it. He should have just won it. Roll up. I don't care. It would have been something funny for him to put his feet up on the rope, you know, to get the pin, you know, out of the eye view of the referee. Give me that. Give me that.
It could have been like an accidental thing. Like he didn't even realize he did it.
Yeah. I mean,
if he was gonna get kicked in the balls, at least wore a cup. That would have been even funnier. And then John's like over there hobbling around with his foot, you know, and then all of a sudden he's over there like, why is my foot hurting? Like he pulls out the cup, throws it at Cena, you know, and then, you know, when the referee's like looking at it and he picks it up, he kicks John in the balls, you know, just let him drop down to the floor, let him hit his finisher, and boom, we got a freaking match. Dude, that would have been beautiful.
I mean, we're going to get
we think of it.
Hey, I mean, I think we'll get to John later because of that.
That's it. We need to be on creative.
There you go. But no, I mean, we'll get to John later because John had something.
Man, I was mad. I even my post was like, man, fuck you, John Cena. If you're the reason why he trying to ruin wrestling, if that's the reason why, man, that's it, man. I'm done.
Well, speaking of ruining wrestling, this man continues to ruin his reputation and ruin just everything that he goes with. Woo! The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, was made the news this week because Ric Flair had to put out a tweet, and it went a little something like this, as you could see on your screens, ladies and gentlemen. Jim Ross will always be Jim Ross, seeking attention. Focus on your recovery at JR's Barbecue. And here was Ric Flair's other tweet. If you can't take a joke from a 76-year-old man, then you are living life too seriously. It was all harmless, lighthearted fun, just trying to make people laugh and smile. Rick, shut the fuck up.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah,
I got the humor.
I got the humor, of course. Dan, I can see your face. You want to talk? Woo! Go ahead.
So when he was in the hospital almost dying,
yes,
somebody made a comment. He would have thought that was funny too.
He's got 9 lives, brother. I guess so. I got struck by lightning. Woo! Can't kill me. Woo! Oh, Rick.
I mean, you want to tell jokes, fine. That's fine, but
the man's
something as serious as cancer.
Time and place. There's always time and place.
Yes.
Timing of it. Time and place.
And this was neither the time nor the place, Rick.
And this was neither the time nor the place.
Like, if that's your humor and your relationship with JR, which some people have that kind of humor with each other.
Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
Does
That
not
little
need to be
morbid, a
public.
little bit morbid, a little bit, crazy. I got it.
Doesn't need to be public.
It does not. Now, what was public? We'll go to this one next because someone else made some news, and it is the name of Montel Vontavious Porter, the one, the only MVP, because MVP cannot shut his mouth. And well, here we go. So MVP made this comment in a recent interview, which he said, and I quote, MVP on why he has zero respect for Triple H and talks about how he chooses to book certain talent. Let's just say this. Bobby Lashley was a 2-time WWE champion, and after he took over, Lashley was reduced to the mid-card. Bobby Lashley is a bankable, marketable guy, and he just got reduced to mid-card. Whatever. What I said, specifically in response to the person on my Instagram page, was that you see it. It's my opinion of how he chooses to book certain talents. Some people say all the time that, MVP's just griping, MVP's just crying. Okay, well, just watch the program. Who were the people in the top spot under his leadership who were given the opportunities? And I'm talking about NXT. I'm talking about the main show. I have my opinions based on my personal experiences. And at some point on my podcast, I'll talk about it and I'll go in depth about what my issues are with that man. And I'll be honest with you. My issues with him have nothing to do with race. My issues have to do with him as a person and our personal interactions and things that he said and did that caused me to have zero respect for him. And this is via Bet Ideas. So MVP's interview. Okay, I'm going to say this right now. You want to talk about mid-card? All right now. When Bobby Lashley was under Vince McMahon and his second run, he was get to be booked in a bed with Lana, and Rusev was his cock. And, well, you want to go back to that? Like, do you really want to talk about how bad this run was when you were on TV with the Street Profits against Final Testament and you were featured friggin' against friggin' Brock Lesnar and all these people? Like, come on now. And I know that was also Vince too, but dog, like, you got to be kidding me with how he was used. Like, Bobby Lashley in that feud with Omos was pretty doggone cool. Like, he was used way better than the friggin' first time he came in under Vince with 2018 and 2019. Do you want to go back to the days? And I mean, Do-Rag Vince was funny, but his first run in WWE was not sunshine and rainbows either. So
Bobby Lashley's sisters?
Bobby Lashley's sister says hello. Thank you. Like, come on, man.
Doesn't Max Caster say hello?
Yeah, Max Caster says hello. And that was a Vince thing when you were feuding with Sami Zayn, your first run back. That was Vince. Like, so Paul, I'll let you start first because you were also very vocal about this in our chat. Your thoughts on MVP's comments in this recent interview, and also I'll also go to who the current champions are in a second. But go ahead, Paul.
Was he not the United States champion at one point in time before he left the first time?
Yes, he was.
Was he not the ECW champion the first time he left?
Twice.
And
Yes,
that was under Vince?
Twice.
Under Vince. So explain to me how him coming back as a 45-year-old man,
Yes,
and all of a sudden he was in big matches. It wasn't like, hey, you're relegated to the back of the line. Dude, you were in matches with Brock Lesnar. You were in matches with Omos.
Roman
Reigns. So explain to me, is it just because he wasn't world champion? Is it just because he wasn't, he wasn't the one that broke the streak of Roman Reigns? Roman Reigns, is it that, explain to me why this is such a big deal.
I don't want to cut you off, but I think you actually made a point there because I think it all stems back to the Hurt business. Like when that whole run as WWE champion was great. I mean, he wrestled Goldberg. Yeah. He wrestled Brock. He wrestled Roman even like before when he first came back. But here's my thing. I think MVP still has that butthurt mentality of we wanted to be the bloodline of Raw. We wanted the Hurt Syndicate to run Raw and Triple H.
And I agree. I completely, wholeheartedly agree. Why couldn't the bloodline stay on SmackDown and why couldn't the Hurt business stay on Raw? Right. And that would have been perfectly fine because then you could have had two different entities on two different shows.
Yeah.
It would have brought people into it, would have been a draw. And I agree with him on that. It would have been a great draw. But as long as you're not doing the exact same things as as the bloodline were doing and you kept them separately, it would have worked perfectly. And yes, I wholeheartedly agree with him on that. But to sit here and gripe and bitch and complain about, and I get it. He's wanting to nitpick at so many different things. It just does. It gets me every single time whenever he opens his mouth and he says something. It's like, it's almost like Dave when it's almost like fucking Harry when he freaking sits over there and him and fucking
Brian Lloyd.
him and Brian fucking Alvarez over there fucking pendejos decide that they want to start talking all kinds of crap. It, to me, that's exactly what it sounds like. It's like they're like girls in the freaking bathroom just bitching and complaining about other girls. White chicks.
Yes. Yes.
You know which part I'm talking about. That's the thing. DC, I need your opinion, my brother.
And then I'll go on about him not saying it's race. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You know, if you look at it this way, Lashley's in his mid to late 40s.
Yeah, almost 50.
How many 50-plus-year-old world champions do you see?
Not a lot.
You know, and this isn't geriatric championship wrestling. Now, is Bobby Lashley a freak of nature that looks incredible? Abso-freaking-lutely.
Ron Killings.
Yep.
Our truth.
Our truth.
And his
An
abs.
anomaly. So, I've said this to you guys before. I'm going to say it again. If you look at Tony Khan's Twitter activity and his comments, he really hasn't made many anti-WWE comments lately.
No, he's been very quiet.
Now, is maybe he pushing this through his talent?
I think so.
But MVP, and maybe there is some truth to this. We don't know. But based on this, everything changes, you know, and you have to start building to the new generation, the ones that can build it up. Now, are there other talent, and does race play a factor in things? I would say, yeah, absolutely. Excuse me. Because, I mean, you got a guy like Carmelo Hayes who, well...
He's the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner.
That was like,
that's about the equivalent of winning the 24/7 championship.
I know, but I mean, he's on TV. He's with The Miz, and I mean, he's featured. I mean, look at who they got. Do you think the Street Profits are complaining tag champs? Callie Armstrong just became the first Evolved Women's Champion, and that girl is going to be a flipping star. We'll play that clip in Natalia later. That friggin' girl's going to be a star. Bianca Belair, Naomi, Jade Cargill. Like, you can't tell me race hasn't. Trick Williams, Oba Femi. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't mean to play
I really don't.
Jey Uso, even.
Jey Uso. I mean, yeah, and
He's Samoan?
Yes.
Yeah, but still, yeah, he's Samoan. I mean, he's not. I mean, it's not like it's a white guy, you know, who's a champion.
Right.
And no offense, I'm not trying to be offensive, but
Yeah, I know.
here's the thing: is like if your argument is he's just not pushing your guy,
African American.
then your argument can be he's just not pushing my guy.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who I feel should be a champion. That's it. Point blank.
Now, here's
He's
what
just mad, he's just bitter, and it's painfully obvious. And I don't want to say these things. I really don't.
No.
I like MVP. I think he's a really great talent, and I think he's cool. But when you start saying things off the wall and you have no legitimate, like, real
Receipts
for it, it's like that's what makes it harder for us to believe.
But you're also missing one of the bigger points. He said, like, you know, Bobby Lashley's in the mid card, right, and all that stuff there. AEW, where's the Hurt Syndicate? What part of the card are they? I think they're in the mid card.
And who said that they wanted to get their Triple B back?
MJF.
MJF. Yes. Is he part of the Hurt Syndicate? Yes.
Mid card.
Mid Carter.
So that deflates everything that you just said, MVP. Oh God! Speaking of someone
I
that
need you to talk shit about WWE.
well, speaking of I'll pay you. Speaking of talking shit about WWE, Will Ospreay needs to
Oh,
shut his
God.
goddamn mouth. Will,
Oi, bro, we need you to
Bro.
shut the, you need to shut up, bro.
bruv. Oh God, we're gonna get to bruv next because
You got to add more bros.
I just don't want to
Bruv.
because it makes me upset. So Will Ospreay did a recent interview where he said they set the bar is too high now for ex WWE stars that want to just walk into AEW. Yeah, okay. So here is what Willie Boy had to say in this recent interview. So let's go down here. So one of the guys who just came in is Speedball Mike Bailey, who was like the indie king at one point. He was going everywhere and putting on some of the greatest matches ever. I think that's what we're looking at now instead of guys that just got let go from WWE. And my heart goes out to them all. But we're looking for guys that are appreciative of this position, who are grafting and improving the markets elsewhere instead of they just got let go from WWE and instantly assume they could come here. Nah, go out and prove to other people you're wanted and desired. My heart goes out to all of them. It should never be assumed, oh, I just got let go here, I could just walk into AEW. Nah, bruv, the bar is too high now. I want to see all of these guys cut their teeth elsewhere and improve the houses elsewhere. Go to New Japan, go to Noah, go to Stardom, go elsewhere and improve their houses before you think, oh, I'll just come here. That's just me. There are certain guys like Swerve who got let go from WWE and came to AEW straight away. He's a special one. He's special. MVP is another. He's special. Bobby Lashley, special. Shelton Benjamin, special. I want people to be like, you can't just come walking in. I really do think the independents need it right now. They need someone to help guide this next generation to come through. That's just me personally. I don't need that in any type of disrespectful way. Right now, AEW, we are the best wrestlers right now, and all those guys who have been let go tragically are really good pro wrestlers, but you just can't be good anymore. You've got to be elite. Quote courtesy of Jeremy Lambert, NoDQ.com. Will, be quiet. just be quiet, Will. Just literally, just be quiet.
Daniel,
Take
go.
it, man. Take it.
Daniel, go.
You know, you say, oh, people from WWE shouldn't just assume. Everybody that he is signed, so it's, oh, it was okay up until then,
Yeah.
or up until now, it was okay.
Okay.
You know, if I'm Tony and I see somebody that has the potential to help my business,
Mhm.
whether they came from WWE or not, I don't give a shit. I'm signing them.
Exactly.
Somebody like R-Truth,
Yes.
when you look at dude's, like, what, he's 54, right?
Yes, 54.
He's 54 years old. He should not be able to move like that.
Yes.
Isn't Jericho right around the same age?
Jericho's in his early to mid 50s. Yes.
Jericho don't move like that.
No, he does not.
Bring Jericho in. And I get it. You're repping the brand,
I see what you did there.
but like I said, Tony's being quiet on things. He's letting his talking heads do it. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
So I just like to add the point before Paul goes here, and I can't wait to hear his response. So he wants to talk about everybody. You know, this is where the bar is set. Okay, Jon Moxley is the AEW World Champion, former WWE guy. Tony Storm is the AEW Women's Champion, former WWE wrestler. Mercedes Moné is the TBS champion, former WWE wrestler. Adam
And
Cole,
next AEW Women's World Champion, because we all know that's going to happen.
AEW TNT champion is Adam Cole, Bebe, former WWE champion. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin are the tag team champions. That's 5. Oh, God. Athena is the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, former WWE talent. Oh, God. Friggin', well, the only one I can think who's really not the, like, Kenny
ROH tag team champion Dustin Rhodes.
was a former WWE talent, and Sammy Guevara. Yes. ROH 6-man, Dustin
ROH 6-man tag team titles Dustin Rhodes.
Yes. Yeah. So you have more people who are former WWE people who are your champions. So shut the fuck up, Will. Go ahead.
With DC, and you just made out the list, and I was gonna start rambling off a list of everybody who is in AEW who are former WWE people who are champions there.
Yes.
So explain to me, and that's not a wrestling That's not wrestling's fault. That is a Tony Khan fault.
Yes.
Because Tony Khan is the one that's running the company. Why isn't Hangman your champion? Why is not Swerve? Has he been champion? Yes. Has Hangman been champion? Yes. Why are they not your leaders for champions in the company? You are 6 years in, and respectively, both of them have one title apiece, one world title apiece.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to Darby Allin? What happened to Hook? What happened to, I mean, MJF? Yes, he was their champion at one point in time. Then all of a sudden he got lost, and all of a sudden now he's just barely almost 3 years later trying to get a title back.
Mm-hmm.
You missed one.
Who?
Samoa Joe.
Oh, Samoa
AEW
Joe.
Samoa Joe.
There you go.
And that's just it, though. It's like we can go on and on and on for the list of people who should have been champions in this company. I mean, like legit champions, and been the people who started this company should have been your gun-hos from day one.
Right.
But what did you do? You brought in Chris Jericho, who was your first AEW world champion.
Which I get that makes sense.
Which I get, and I do, because he left, he reinvented himself, he went over to New Japan, all of a sudden came to AEW. Yes, I get it. Yep. Then it's like, what happened? What happened to all these guys that you guys were supposed to be producing, who pretty much left the company to go to the competition?
Yep. I know.
So again, I say, make that make sense.
You had a guy like Malachi Black, Aleister Black, whatever you want to call him, and you did fuck all with him.
That you did.
You had Miro, who you gave him that bullshit video game gimmick.
Well, yeah, because he's a Twitch streamer. Don't you understand?
And again, I get it. You're repping your brand. You love your brand. That's great.
It's awesome.
But just, it seems like every fucking interview he does, it's anti-WWE this. Like, dude, just stop.
Just be quiet.
We get it.
So, speaking of wrestlers who are disgruntled, Deonna Purrazzo put out a tweet this week, and somebody wrote to her asking, "Are you pulling up to Dynamite tonight?" And the Virtuosa herself wrote, "During picture-in-picture, probably." Oh boy. Oh boy.
And you know that's just the sequence for like the commercial, right? That's exactly what she was talking about.
Yeah.
I'm in the commercial.
I mean, I'm in the whole, friggin' SNH, friggin' whatever the friggin' New Hampshire thing is, that college thing. Like
I'm in the Collision commercial.
Yeah, I'm in the Collision commercial, but Deonna Purrazzo literally came in before Mercedes Moné, and she had the feud with Toni Storm, and then she lost, and then she had the feud with Thunder Rosa that went on and on and on and on and on.
Again, another woman. Thunder Rosa, another woman. Oh my God, La Mera Mera. That woman should be pushed to the fucking stars. But why isn't she? And I get it. You know what? I could clip this and I could pretty much tell her, baby, you are so fucking awesome. And I get it. You're pretty much like Natalya, to where you're gonna put everybody over. But when you aren't getting your fucking kudos from the company that you work for, babe, it's hard for us as fans to sit here and say, like, I want more from you. No, I want more from Tony Khan to present you. You had the match with fucking Britt Baker, which was fucking 5-star, completely off the fucking hook. Hell, I would have gave it 100 stars.
Was that the
steel cage match where both of y'all fucking bled like crazy?
Yep, lights out.
Yeah, where both of y'all bled like crazy. You guys fucking killed it. And you have said constantly on Busted Open, I want to run it back with Britt. I want to run it back with Britt. Well, where the fuck is Britt Baker? Not to be seen.
I mean, she got in trouble for that whole Serena Deeb thing with.
I don't give a shit, but she should be on the forefront too.
I agree.
Serena Deeb is another one who should be on the forefront. Athena should not be on ROH. That if you got rid of Dark Elevation and you got rid of Dark, guess what fucking ROH should be? Pretty much what it used to be, an indie show.
Yep.
Where
Well,
you develop all these fucking people. That's exactly what it should be.
Turn it into the AEW version of NXT.
Or Evolve.
Exactly. That's exactly what it should be.
You know,
And the world champion there should be Billy Starks. Because that girl is a fucking star.
And you have Sammy Guevara, who, and Mike, you know I'm a Sammy guy.
Yeah.
Sammy, you have him relegated to Ring of Honor. There's nothing wrong with Ring of Honor. There's nothing wrong. You know, I love the tag team with Dustin is cool and all. But this is a guy, he's a I think he holds the record for the TNT title.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I think he's a three-time TNT title.
Yeah.
I think he and Cody have the record.
Yeah, they're tied.
And why do you not have him going after somebody like Mox?
I mean, to add on to Paul's point too, with like people like who we mentioned. I mean, he mentioned Athena. Like he blew his load already for Mercedes and Athena in the Owen Hart tournament. I'm like, Athena's from Texas. Like, why can't we get Athena wrestling on the fucking All-In card or do Mercedes versus Athena in Texas? Like, hello, like unless they're gonna have Athena defend the Ring of Honor Women's Champion on an All-In in Texas, which nobody's gonna give a rat's ass about. But okay, I don't understand him. I don't. And like you mentioned, the Sammy Guevara, the OGs get pushed aside for the ex-WWE talents.
And again, back to Sammy Guevara, somebody else who was there from the beginning. It should be fucking pushed, but is not. And again, we have all these faces and all these names of all these people that started with the company that are not being pushed. Why? Because every single ex-WWE guy that Tony Khan was pretty much nutting over while they were over there, all of a sudden now he has them under contract and he's like, here, you guys can have the fucking forefront because you guys were in WWE.
Okay, Dan, hit it.
No, I just, you know, when Seth Rollins said essentially the same shit that Will Ospreay did,
Yes.
the internet gave him so much bullshit.
Yes, he did.
And
Yes,
rightfully so. Rightfully so. But it's okay when Ospreay says it.
It's like he mentioned with Sammy Guevara he was the first match on Dynamite against Cody, for God's sake, on the first ever Dynamite. Like, yeah, but Will Ospreay say it, it's okay because that's the narrative. If somebody from WWE says it, it's bad. If Will Ospreay says it, it's cool. It's tribalism at its finest. I mean,
And it does, to be fair, it does go both sides.
It does. And I mean, the other AEW stuff, because there was some AEW. We're not getting a date. We're not getting a Dave yet. We have to go to dumbass Kyle Fletcher. So, yeah, here's the clip.
He's strong. And now Fletcher. He's strong.
So, this is from the
Dear
wrestling.
Kyle Fletcher,
Yes.
if you can't execute a fucking power bomb on the apron,
Don't do it.
your ass should not fucking be wrestling. I don't give a damn. You know what? There was a clip, and I have to put it here because at some point in time, AEW is where the best wrestle, but God, the botches are over the last couple of months have been like stacked up one on top of the other. And oh my God, it's so horrible.
So
I mean, yes, and I'm not saying that WWE is any fucking better. All I'm saying is that, my God, but right now, the botches for AEW are aplenty right now.
So
And like stupidly
oh my God,
aplenty.
people can say what they will about Zelina. First of all, Chelsea Green rocking that nose guard this week was hilarious. And then the friggin' putting her face. We'll get to that.
So
But
you're gonna give So you're gonna give Zelina Vega shit for one fucking 3 6
I know, that's what people do.
619.
I know.
For one fucking 619 that she missed, as opposed to every other one where she's hit it.
Yeah. That's what people are doing. They're giving poor Zelina Vega shit for that. Like,
y'all are some petty ass shit. And y'all should get on fucking Rey Mysterio then. Because there have been times where he's botched the fucking 619.
Oh, Cody Rhodes'
himself.
nose. He broke Cody Rhodes' nose and they turned it into a star.
Exactly. So don't give me no shit.
So this is from the rest.
I will fuck a bitch up.
There it is. I was waiting for it. I'm going to steal your line. Pendejos. So we'll go to the Wrestling Observer Live. People within AEW. Bam! People within AEW were reportedly furious with Kyle Fletcher following his apron powerbomb to Adam Cole. And this is from Brian. I can tell you today, I'm sure I'll hear about this all afternoon, but there were a lot of people furious at Kyle Fletcher because, like, at the end of the day, whenever you want to do is whatever you guys agree to do and everything like that. But Adam Cole has had a history of head injuries. He's had concussions. He's had concussions and head injuries we know about, and he's had concussions and head injuries that hasn't been public. There have been other times where Adam Cole hasn't been on television because he had a head injury and it just never came out. So, like, you have to be careful, not just with Adam Cole, but with anybody, with anybody's head. There were a lot of people very unhappy with Kyle Fletcher because, like, what was this dude thinking? What was he thinking? I don't have an answer. So here's
where he hit.
Yes.
Yes, underneath the canvas, there's basically, school gym mats.
Yeah. Plywood.
But where he hit is nothing but solid steel.
Right.
I just got over a concussion, a low-grade concussion, and I will tell you, that fucking shit sucks.
And if you do that shit again, I'm gonna bust you upside your head one more time.
To be fair,
Yeah. It's true.
That's what happens when you let the girl throw the dildo at your head. That man, you're not supposed to.
Hey, it was a Thursday.
Oh, it was a Thursday. Okay, my bad.
So
next
shit
time,
like
duck
this-
next time, make sure you duck out before the husband gets there.
Duck, dodge, and weave, man.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't supposed to come back till Saturday.
Okay. Well, that in your defense, okay, that you're forgiven.
Take the slip and slide out the kitchen. Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I told her to leave the window open, but it started raining, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah, I know. I got it.
But this was just fucking sloppy.
It was, and
there are botches, and then there's that botch.
Well, this made me mad.
The last point I'll make is that if this shit happened on Raw or SmackDown or NXT, we would never hear the fucking end of it. It would be on every wrestling group. It would be on fucking Wrestling Observer. The dipshits would not stop talking about it.
The problem is, and this is also where this dumbass comes in. So Gabe Kidd on Dynamite during the friggin' match with the Death Riders and Willow and whatnot. We're going to get to this because it happened. So Gabe Kidd spit on Willow Nightingale. Here's the clip. God damn it.
Oh, you mean Mox Jr.?
Yeah, oh, God.
Absolute disrespect there from Gabe Kidd, spitting into the face of Willow Nightingale. Willow.
I hated it when it aired. I hated even watching it back. Go, Paul.
I know she was fucking mad. But fuck Gabe Kidd.
Yeah, fuck
I was sorry, but I would have fucking jumped in that fucking ring and I would have started beating his ass. I would not have let him fucking spit on me. I don't care if it was fucking part of the damn match, but that was fucking disrespectful.
That was fucking ridiculous.
Point in time and place. That wasn't the time. That wasn't fucking necessary. Not one fucking bit.
It didn't add anything to the match at all. It doesn't add anything at all.
And it isn't like, hey, I have a feud with these people. Motherfucker, you were just brought in not a couple of days fucking earlier to be in a fucking match. And all of a sudden now you're just like, hey, this is convenient. Let me spit on this bitch.
Like, he was only been in the storyline for like 2 weeks and it made no sense.
It's fucking horrible. I'm sorry. I don't care how anybody wants to spin it. That was just disrespectful.
Hit it down.
And people were going off on him.
Oh well, fuck. Well, Gabe Kidd thinks he's controversial. You know, bruv. He's another bruv that we're gonna go out and do the damn thing. I'm Gabe Kidd, fuckers.
No.
No, you could fuck right off. Go ahead, Dan.
They're trying to. I've seen people trying to compare AEW to ECW.
No.
Which, you know what? Are there some comparisons? Yeah, I'll be honest, there are.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing. In 2025, there is no way in hell ECW would get away with half the shit they do.
Oh, the stuff that they did in '95 with Tommy Dreamer and the chair shot to Raven and the ECW and all that. Yeah, no, they would not.
The crucifixion.
The crucifixion angle. I'll take them both on hardcore. Like, no.
How about Tommy Dreamer pile driving Beulah?
That, yeah.
Hey. In his defense, that's his wife.
Exactly.
And honestly,
no. We can go one further. How about Rick Rude?
Rick. Oh God, if Rick Rude that ever came out today, no.
That would have been completely horrible. And I know, I know she doesn't want to talk about it. And Francine, I love you. I know you don't want to talk about it, but one thing I want to stress: I didn't mean to call Willow a bitch. That's not what I meant. I meant from Gabe Kidd's standpoint, viewpoint, it was more or less him saying, "I could spit on you, bitch." You know, I'm not calling Willow a bitch. I have nothing but the utmost respect for her, and I love the hell out of her.
Same.
It's dumb.
I had to throw that in there because it popped into my head.
I feel you.
It's dumb, or it's stupid.
Well,
Stupid.
I mean, look at AEW this week with friggin' Harley Cameron and Anna Jay and that match with Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford and the friggin' her face is all smashed up and then Anna Jay's got a broken nose. Like, there's a lot of stuff on this week's Dynamite that was just so unnecessary and just not needed. And I know they're building to this fucking all-in card with Tony and Mercedes and that what we saw the face-off at the end of Dynamite and Hangman.
We know how that's gonna
end. And Hangman and Moxley and Swerve and Will, and it looks like after Collision they're setting up Swerve and Ospreay too. And this is what I'm going to say right now. I think it's going to be a big clusterfuck. I do not see Hangman winning that title in Texas. I don't.
I have said this for the longest time. It's going to be Darby.
He's going to hold it off to Darby so he can have the title for a year, and then Darby wins it in Washington.
Yeah, but it doesn't make
it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. If you're going to wait that long, then it's like this, whatever the fuck that story is, has ran its course. I mean, it ran its course months ago.
Well, the problem is
this isn't like, and I have to say this because this isn't the bloodline.
It's not.
This isn't the bloodline where it reinvented itself, recreated itself, and you ended up getting this tension that it had with everybody that was in the group. You know, and then you had Jay and Jimmy, and then the stuff with Sammy and Jay, and then Roman and Jay. You had that tension inside of it. This is just like a clusterfuck of fuckery that just isn't fucking working. I don't care however you want to spin it. I can give All In the benefit of the doubt because I liked it. I liked a lot of the stories that were in it, and I think this was probably the best All In quite some time.
Absolutely.
And it was by far one of the best pay-per-views that they've had in maybe 3 years.
I mean,
I could say that because I was at
Double or Nothing.
I didn't go to Double or Nothing.
Full
God
Gear.
Damn it.
Full Gear.
Yeah, I went to Full Gear here in LA 2 years ago. And it was fucking excellent. I got the match between Hangman and Swerve that was just phenomenal. But and then I got freaking Brav that ended up showing up there.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
How's Claudio doing in AEW? Is he doing it any better than he was in WWE?
He's pretty much reduced to being Mox's bitch. Like, the only two members of that group that are the strong point are Moxley and fucking Marina Shafir.
But I remember when Cesaro, Claudio, whatever you want to call him, left WWE. Oh, he's gonna do so much stuff. He's gonna be AEW World Champion.
Yeah, no. He was a trios champion, but no, he
was a Ring of Honor World Champion.
And then he lost it to Jericho. And
then he got it back.
Yes.
Yeah, but if it's one thing to be a world champion in the company, but if you're not going to, as they say, pass it on to somebody else that's worthy of it, then it's different. Claudio lost it to freaking Jericho. Why? Why didn't he elevate somebody else? Why didn't Claudio elevate somebody else into that position as an ROH world champion?
Because I mean they did with Eddie Kingston and all that too, but the thing is,
again, back to guys that aren't fucking deserving of it. You are literally giving this fucking titles to fucking everybody who used to be in WWE. Eddie Kingston, yes, I understand he wasn't in WWE, and he has so much hatred for WWE. Yes, I understand that. He is your anti WWE guy,
right?
Who should be the AEW World Champion. If you want somebody to carry that flag, carry that banner fucking high for you, who hates fucking WWE, it would be Eddie Kingston. I know he's injured. I know he's injured, but I'm just saying, like in that aspect, you gave him the ROH title.
Eddie Kingston is the AEW version of Mick Foley.
Essentially, yeah.
He's the kind of guy that you want in your company. Like if I was building a promotion and I could take anybody from any promotion, I would want somebody like an Eddie Kingston. Somebody that's, to me, I would even say he is the Tommy Dreamer of AEW.
That is a very great comparison. And I mean, we compare like you guys mentioned Double or Nothing. I watched it as well. I thought it was a good show. But like I said, my problem with Tony, and it's always been this, and we'll get to Tony's clip in a second. There was a lot of matches on that damn card that should not have been on that damn card. Harold said Harold said it best. The collision stank. Like friggin' Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness against FTR. The Paragon against the Don Callis family, only to have Tanahashi make his return. And it has been officially announced now that Tanahashi's last match will be at Forbidden Door. There was a lot of stuff on that card was just filler. Like it was. I'm sorry to say that. I was happy to see Hangman win. I was happy. Mercedes and Jamie, poor Jamie Hayter got dropped on her fucking head with that DDT. My God. But that's another one. You want to talk about people that have been around since like the early stages. Fucking Jamie Hayter, who was AEW Women's Champ, never got a rematch with Tony. Should have won this fucking match.
Never lost it.
And now they did an interview with her with Renee on friggin' Dynamite. She's in the ring. What's next? And then they botched the debut of the Spider herself. The Poison, was it this Poison Spider, whatever the hell it's called?
Yeah,
Thekla. And they have the graphic. They totally miss her attacking Jamie Hayter. Then all you see is Jamie Hayter on the ground and then the forearm. So Jamie Hayter is pretty much the equivalent of what Tito Santana was in the 90s as El Matador, putting over the up-and-coming stars. She's pretty much what Val Venus, who can go fuck himself, was the equivalent of the jobber to the stars in the mid-2000s. She is now the one to beat to move on to help the younger talent. And now Thekla is coming in, and she's going to feud with Jamie Hayter, and Jamie Hayter's going to lose again. And it's like, fuck. Like, I understand Thekla's coming in, but you couldn't put her against anybody else but Jamie Hayter. Anybody else? Good.
Riho. What happened to Riho? What happened to Riho? What happened to freaking Shida? What happened to Nyla Rose? Nyla Rose is posting beautiful fucking pictures of herself.
Yes.
On fucking on Twitter. Hey, that's fine, all fine and dandy, but baby, I don't see you in the ring.
Oh, she was on Ring of Honor. Doesn't count.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, we'll go back to things places that they don't need to be.
Right.
And you're bringing in all these women, and yes, it's good. Yes, you're getting them on there, but god damn, you're not doing anything with them. Well, yes, you could fall over fucking Mercedes all you want, but my god, and yes, you can. Tony is doing some of the best fucking character work she's done in pretty much her entire career.
Yep.
And you have nobody else.
Well, that's the problem.
Megan Bain, what happened to fucking Megan Bain?
So here's my thing with her. You could have built her more before we got the title shot, where she was 3 weeks in and then goes right after Tony, and now she's in this ridiculous feud with Anna Jay and Harley Cameron against her and Penelope Ford. Like, she went from main card to pre-show in a matter of seconds, and it pisses me off.
And that's something we fucking griped about
we said
fucking
it was gonna
what
happen.
Tony fucking does.
And we said
It's like you could be fucking main card fucking 1 minute, 3 months later, all of a sudden it's like you're relegated to the fucking pre-show or you're relegated to fucking Collision, and then ain't nobody fucking give a damn about you because nobody knows where the fuck you're at.
look at Ricochet. Ever since he came in, he had a pointless he had a pointless stretcher match with Mark Briscoe on this fucking pay-per-view. That meant nothing.
But it was a good match.
A good match.
It was fucking excellent match.
It was, but it means nothing.
Where's Camille?
Where the fuck is Camille? That's another fucking name of all the fucking people that he's had in his company that he ain't doing shit with.
I mean, I know he just got. There are now 2 free agents from AEW. Abaddon is gone, as well as Bear Bronson of the Iron Savages. But still, you could have done more with Abaddon besides using her on the Halloween specials.
Abaddon, please do me a favor. Go to TNA.
Her and Rosemary.
Her and Rosemary would be fucking perfect. And Wendy Chu. Her and fucking Wendy Chu and fucking Rosemary would be fucking excellent in fucking over there.
Yeah, and Bear Bronson.
That's just my opinion.
Bear Bronson, go to TNA. Yeah, go to TNA. Bear Bronson.
Bear Bronson can go to TNA.
Fucking TNA. Dan, go ahead, finish it off.
You know, it just
Fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan. Fuck the TKO.
Fuck Tony Khan.
Tony Khan's
Tony
time.
Khan.
Our truth.
Right. Well, speaking of Tony, we're gonna go to him next because Tony Baloney was at the AEW scrum. And as we know, July 12th is All In. Also on that same day, we are going to get the Great American Bash. We are going to get Saturday night's main event, and then we got Evolution the following day. So Tony Khan at Double or Nothing said that WWE is trying to counter-program them as the most consistent event head-to-head scheduling since Jim Crockett Promotions, but says that it will end a lot differently this time.
Can I ask you guys something?
Yes.
So Dynamite has broken Nitro's record of how many fucking shows they've ran on TNT.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? How many times did they beat WWE in the head-to-head?
Well,
Don't worry. I'll wait for your answer.
This year only one, but in the head-to-head, no, because of I'm saying NXT, but with
And I'm saying NXT because there have been times to where they ran against NXT on a Tuesday and not necessarily a Wednesday.
they've been getting
That's specifically their time slot is on Wednesday. But but the only reason why I mention it is because they've ran head-to-head against NXT quite a few times in the last 6 years.
yes,
And they have won that many times in their time slot. Same time slot.
Yep.
As NXT.
Mm-hmm. I'm not counting the one that they just had because that was not like a fucking beatdown. That was one fucking time and friggin' how long? Like, shut up. Who cares?
But that was the only time that NXT ran on a Wednesday.
Exactly. Like, and it's just these people with the fucking ratings. But no, they've been getting their butts kicked, and now
but that's the thing though, is that his touting of like, oh well, we've done this on TNT, or we've done this and blah blah blah. Like you've beaten NXT that many times, many times head to head,
and the AEW sickos who are trying to stand up are trying to we're trying to stand up for Tony, like, oh God, poor Tony. You know, the WWE so petty for friggin' counteracting him and doing all the events on the same weekend. I'm like, first of all, number one, it's business. And number two, I have no sympathy for Tony Khan, who called Triple H and Shawn Michaels bald assholes, and friggin' everything that he's tweeted about the WWE, everything that he cries about, friggin' going after Jinder Mahal, going after everybody and everything WWE and trying to act like they're better. I have way more money than fucking Jim Crockett. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit like I'm supposed to fucking forget that happened. Like, I have no sympathy for them doing it to Tony. I think WWE has a problem as they see them as competition? No, but I think it has the same time too. If they can fuck with Tony Khan, they're going to fuck with Tony Khan. It's like, okay, you want to call us bald assholes? Go ahead. Yeah,
a couple things there.
Yeah.
Let's say Vince still had control.
Yeah.
The Vince McMahon that we all grew up with.
Yeah.
would have squashed Tony like a grape.
Oh, he would have smoked him.
Because look what Vince did to WCW.
Oh, yeah.
He destroyed it.
Mm-hmm. Bought the
You know,
competition.
once they got back on their feet. Now, yeah, he may have more money than Jim Crockett Promotions, but you know who's got even more money than that?
Go ahead, Dan.
TKO.
That they do.
They've got more money to invest.
Amen to
And
that.
Tony, how'd those Jaguars do last season?
You're going to go to the football side. I feel you. Okay. All right.
Damn.
Damn.
Paul, what was their record? What was their record last season?
I believe it was like 3-6 and 3-14, if I'm not mistaken,
The drizzling shits, to put it in the funnest of terms.
or 4-13, something like that.
So what do you think, Paul, about them counter programming and as well as the sickos being like they're trying to hurt Tony?
Dude, it's all fair. It's all fair game.
Love and
I
war.
mean, there have been times where GCW ran a show the same night as fucking WWE, and you know, or ran a show the same night as AEW.
That'll run the same night as SmackDown, like it happened.
Look, and TNA ran a pay-per-view the same night as SmackDown. So why is this such a big deal? If people want to watch your programming, people want to watch your shows, make it fucking interesting enough for people would want to watch it. Plain and simple.
Look at TNA. They ran Border Brawl in the afternoon right before NXT Battleground. Who cares?
Exactly.
You know, here's a fucking problem.
Go ahead.
For one, who the fuck cares?
Sickos?
If I were Tony and they asked me that question, I would just say, let them.
Yeah. Let them.
Focus on putting on the best show possible. And, you know, here's the thing. It goes back to how many fucking matches they had on Double or Nothing. When the show didn't get over till way past midnight.
Oh, it was done at 12:30, man.
At Eastern time.
Yes.
You can easily trim down a couple matches.
Yeah.
And I get it. You want your talent to have a fucking payday. That's cool. Here's an idea. Why not move some of those matches to Collision the night before?
To make the Collision feel special. Absolutely. But they
Exactly. Or whatever happened. When was the last Battle of the Belts? That was supposed to be their answer to Clash of the Champions.
I don't even remember when the last Battle of the Belts was, to be honest with you. I don't know.
Yeah, but
gotta
the thing is that it's different when you have a pay-per-view, and I get it. Tony's mentality is that you want to put as many people as you can on your pay-per-views, but you don't need to.
No.
If you run a Collision the same night that you have your fucking pay-per-views, you can put everybody on Collision, not necessarily have a fucking pre-show,
The buy-in.
and just run a fucking, and not a buy-in, but just have the damn pay-per-view, have the whole damn pay-per-view strictly about the stories that you have.
Instead of 12.
We get mad at WWE for not doing that a few times, and doing within a week of telling us, oh well, this person's wrestling this person, you know, finding out like that. Who else does that, by the way?
Tony Khan.
AEW. Well, so and so is gonna wrestle so and so, and they have a history. Remember Chris Jericho and his history with everybody and their mother and their father. And he slept with the mother's fucking brother's former roommate, you know, back in the day.
friggin' Jericho. And he's like, oh, but he wrestled his father in 1995 for AAA. And it's like, that's great. I don't care that he's wrestling this kid.
Yay.
Well, speaking of yay, no, we are at that portion of the show. And before we get to the final news, and then we'll talk the other stuff.
All right. Well, I'm going to log off.
You son of a bitch. We are going to go with, well, let's all do it together now. As I pull my mic in, Dave Meltzer has 2 tweets and 1 Why not?
How about we just do one and just talk about them all in one fucking fair swoop because
Well, we are gonna do them all.
It's Harry.
It's Harry. We're gonna do it in one fell swoop.
With Harry and Lloyd.
Harry and Lloyd. So this was the first one. So Dave Meltzer answers a fan who replied to him saying, "This is the fan." He wrote, "I do think one thing that should be stressed to balance the talking points when you get a 4-hour AEW show, because they're 4 hours next week with Collision and Dynamite, because Tony doesn't want to get run with Money in the Bank this week. So when Collision's going to happen right after Dynamite this week, so it's going to be 4 hours of AEW." And he wrote, "I do think one thing that should be stressed to balance the talking points when you get a 4+ hour AEW show, it's all fucking wrestling. You could have lost the matches Brian was complaining about and had ads and video package in their place." That's also a reference to the pay-per-view because how fucking long these shows are. And Dave Meltzer wrote, "If you want to see great wrestling, AEW makes far better use of its time than WWE. This can't be argued. I will say this. I've been live to 5-hour Tokyo Dome shows and Dominions and watched them on TV in the middle of the night, ending at 3 or 4 a.m., and not once have I ever thought it was too long. I did think Double or Nothing was longer than it should have been, but it's also a very minor complaint because the worst match was only very good."
Did you not just fucking say your point, you fucking dumbass? Did you not just stress your own fucking point?
Yes, I know. Oh, Dave, stop it. Dave, literally, just stop talking.
I swear, Harry and Lloyd are on my fucking. Every time I see him, I see Harry. Oh.
Oh, good Christ. Dan, you want to comment on that tweet?
No.
No.
That's what I just have to say to him is just no.
No. All right, here's the other tweet. Dave Meltzer got into a fight with Grok, and it goes a little something like this. So Grok wrote back to Dave Meltzer. I guess somebody put something into Grok. "The decline in ratings on Netflix in 2025 likely stems from multiple factors. Viewership dropped 35% in the U.S. with the May 12th episode at 2.7 global views, down from 4.9 at debut. Dull storylines like weak heel, Cena arcs, and messy women's feuds may reduce blah, 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 blah." So Dave wrote back, "Debut was 5.9 million, not 4.9 million. Also, 5.9 million was a legit number. 2.7 million would only be legit if virtually nobody watched live, and we know that's not the case." This man is literally arguing with Grok.
With a computer.
Yes.
That's like arguing with Chat GPT.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just gonna say this because I kept my mouth shut on the last fucking one. But you know what? You just hit the go button on the rant machine. So here we go.
All right.
This is that Simpsons meme of old man yells at cloud.
Yep.
Literally. Because that's probably where this fucking AI shit is stored. You are literally arguing with an AI. Like AI that probably references your shit. You fucking donkey. I had to quote Gordon Ramsay.
I fucking love that, man. So
seriously,
yeah,
Dave, you are smarter than this.
Maybe.
Are you sure?
Sure about that?
I'm not sure about that anymore because if he's arguing with fucking AI, then I'm gonna say that no.
I'm trying to be nice.
So this
Well,
also
don't be nice. It's only fucking Dave.
Oh, this is the last from Dave, thank God. So confirmed for AEW when Worlds Collide. The new match that they announced, and we have 5 banger matches coming up this coming Saturday. So the latest match is a trios match featuring the LWO's Dragon Lee, Joaquin Wilde, and Cruz del Toro against Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana. I'm cool with that. Like, they have stacked this friggin' when Worlds Collide, and of course, last night, Alberto El Patron lost the championship, the AAA Mega
Championship.
So
I am so shocked that happened.
By King
Oh
Kong.
my God. I
Lord.
didn't see that coming.
No, not at all. It's not like WWE didn't already spoil
Oh
it.
my God. I did not see that coming.
No, man. I mean, he attacked his friggin' family on a Mexican talk show, like the whole nine. Come on, man. No, I
Did it again last night.
Yeah,
It was like a telenovela. That's what it was.
Oh God, it reminds me of those old. All right, I'm gonna show myself here with my gala and all these, all the friggin' Spanish soap operas from the '90s. It's like watching a Spanish soap opera with Eric Estrada. Yes, I want the Eric Estrada route.
Wow.
Oh, bro, I went the Eric Estrada route, Mr. Paul Morales.
God
Boy,
damn.
bro.
Bro. I pulled out the Eric Estrada.
Hey, relax, Punch.
Thank you. So move on to the Dave clip. Oh, good Lord. So here is where a lot of people are going to get pissed. So Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer on May 29th. Dave, as Meltzer said,
Wait. Why are you playing clips of him talking? That's even worse.
well, this has to do with the When Worlds Collide. So,
Oh.
Meltzer said Dynamite Dave is upset that Lola Vice, who was Cuban, is on the Worlds Collide poster because she's not Mexican. The wrestling media cannot be any more unserious. I feel sorry for Brian at this point, and this was Dave's comment about Lola Vice.
We had Ava meeting with Stephanie, said she needed a tag partner for Worlds Collide. Lola Vice walked up, offered to be her partner. We had Jada.
You know what's so cool about that? You don't know? The only woman from NXT on the poster for that card, besides Stephanie, was Lola Vice.
How about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
Well,
What
she
a-
was clearly going to be on the show one way or the other. It's Lola Vice for crying out
well,
loud.
there's no. Why would she be on the show?
She's
She's Cuban.
Cuban.
She's Cuban. Cuban isn't
It's
Mexican.
Worlds Collide, Dave. We got all sorts
It's AAA.
all of these worlds
versus-
are
it's
colliding.
AAA. It's AAA versus WWE.
Well, Stephanie's
Lo-
not Mexican either.
No, but she was starring Mexico.
She's not Mexican. She's Chilean.
We don't know that.
All right, we had Jada and Tatum Pack.
Oh, well, she started there.
That is my point. So Stephanie Vaquera is Chilean, Lola Vice is Cuban, but it's NXT versus AAA, and Stephanie Vaquera, Lola Vice against Dallas and Chick Tormenta. And Chick Tormenta. Like, that's going to be a really good match. But Dave, it's AAA versus NXT and Stephanie Vaquera, and we know she's going to be on the main roster. As of this recording, she's going to face Liv Morgan and Ivy Nile in the triple threat to qualify for Money in the Bank. But still, she's finishing off her NXT run. In NXT, Stephanie Vaquera and Lola Vice against AAA's Dallas and Chick Tormenta. Like, Dave, hello. It's
I love your Spanish accent. I love the way you pronounce names.
I try. So, I love me some Lucha Libre. Come on, man. Gala, friggin' back in the day, used to have 5 hours of friggin' AAA. Come on now.
He's over here watching Galavisión.
Yes. But no, I do appreciate that. And that's the problem with Dave. It just shows his stupidness. Like, she's Cuban. Like, come on now. I'm like, I know. That was my thing. I'm like, why are we having this conversation?
Again, back to I just lost brain cells fucking listening to fucking Harry and Lloyd talk. You put him on there and look, you made DC mad. That's the even worst part is that you made DC mad and he looks like he lost brain cells.
And I'm on a new new journey where I'm trying to be chill.
Yes.
I'm trying to remain calm with things.
Remain calm.
But like, the fuck does it matter if she's not Mexican?
That's Dave for you, man. That's Dave.
Non-Mexican people have worked for AAA.
Conan, Cuban.
Kenny Omega.
Yes.
Your-
Conan.
Your best buddy, Kenny Omega, Canadian.
Canadian.
Cody
Former
Rhodes.
AAA mega champion.
Cody Rhodes. Yep.
Cody Rhodes. Nick Aldis.
Karrion Kross. Johnny Nitro.
Karrion Kross.
John
That's
Morrison.
Johnny Mundo now.
Johnny Mundo.
No, Johnny TV.
Johnny TV.
Or I don't know what he is this week.
Taya Valkyrie.
Kelsey Green.
Dave.
Matt Cardona.
Because I do still enjoy being kind of petty, I'm just gonna fucking say it.
Get it?
With WWE now owning AAA, they own the AAA library.
Yes.
So that means whenever an AEW star appeared on a AAA show, yeah, WWE owns that now.
You mean like Kenny Omega versus Vikingo?
Yep, they own that.
Wait. You mean when Chris Jericho went there?
Hey.
They own that too.
Mm-hmm. Dave. Yep, little
He's a fucking muppet.
All right. So that is the end of Dave. Thank God. So now we'll go to somebody else.
Look, man, look at what you're doing. Look at what you're doing to DC, man. You lost him, man.
You're killing
Well-
my vibe.
Well, we got to talk about this too because this was in the news. Because speaking of Muppets and now rats and snitches, we have the latest in the John Laurinaitis, Vince McMahon, Janelle.
You know, snitches get stitches. You know that?
You know what I'm saying? So John Laurinaitis has been dropped from Janelle Grant's lawsuit against WWE and Vince McMahon. Laurinaitis has agreed to cooperate and as a result provide evidence against McMahon/WWE. Yeah, Johnny Ace looking to get off. Like just here's the evidence, Janelle. Don't come on. It's not on me. I'm a victim too.
Here's the evidence. Here, I'll tell you whatever you want to know.
Here it is, Janelle.
It's all about people power.
Here's all the evidence. Yeah. Well, I think Papa Lark said it best, and he made me laugh about this. He said, "You do realize that if Vince and Johnny go down together, who do you think Trump is going to pardon?" And I laughed when he said that
Well,
because it's so
to
true.
be fair,
Yes,
this is just a civil trial. There is no federal case here.
true. I know.
Thank you. You hit it before I did.
Yeah, true. Well, we were joking about it, but still.
Shouldn't
No,
we-
I know.
Yeah.
I get it, but it's like the thing is like even if it was federal, and I know I know there have been federal indictments of of stuff like that against Vince, and he would pardon him too. So,
Yeah. But what are your thoughts on Johnny giving all the evidence over to Janelle Grant and her attorney?
good for him.
I'm surprised it didn't happen earlier, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big story with Johnny. I still say Vince is going to he's so cooked now. If that evidence goes out, oh boy, he is going to be so cooked.
He is fighting the discovery phase so bad.
What do you guys think of his new company?
Even though his lawyer continues to keep saying, "Oh well, the evidence that we have, and they don't really have anything against us, or she doesn't really have anything, viable against my client," and blah blah blah, and it's like,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, she does.
Yeah, she does. Now, do you guys also like the fact that what is this new company he has now? Friggin' that 14. What do you think about Vince starting his new company?
14 and I.
14 and I. What are your guys' thoughts? Because he's got 14 and I. Hogan and Bischoff got Real American Freestyle Wrestling. This is the day and age that we live in, man.
Yeah, whatever.
Eh, whatever. Your thoughts, Dan?
My whole thing is, I mean, Vince is what, 77, 78?
Almost 80, yeah.
Like, last time he was seen, he didn't look good.
Oh, no, he looked like shit.
That was at a basketball game.
Yes. Was
I believe it was a Pacers game when he was at, or
Yeah, I think he was there with Taker.
I know it was early on in the NBA playoffs was when
I think
somebody
he was there with Taker, right?
Yeah. Please don't bring up the Pacers. Please don't bring up the Pacers. I'm a little salty about that, man. The Knicks lost, man. The Knicks are out, man. Don't do that. Don't do that to me now. Come
Here,
on.
I'll give you one. The Yankees won.
That's a plus. That's a plus. I'll take that.
Even though they got their asses handed to them fucking the last two games, but hey, you know what? They won today.
I'm just saying, man. At least they're in the Bronx and it's not Queens, because you know how Dan and I feel about Queens. Ain't that right, Dan?
Queens isn't real.
It's not. It's really not.
We don't talk about Queens.
We don't. So speaking of people we don't
Sorry,
want to,
Kaz. Sorry,
Sorry.
Kaz.
brother. So speaking of people that we really don't want to talk about, what we got to. Oh man, we're gonna go to Logan Paul and Karrion Kross. So Logan Paul and his dumbass, he put out. This is from his video. Logan Paul is a message for WWE stars who have a problem with his position in the company, and it says, and I quote, "It's my understanding that some of my peers are not happy that I get these shots so quickly in my career. Let me break it down for you. In your simple brains, do you think I'm here because I go viral? You see the numbers and you think that's why I'm here? No. The reason that I'm here, the reason that I'm given these opportunities so early in my career is A, because I'm fantastic, but B, because I've been getting those impressions for a decade now. And with those impressions comes an audience, a fan base, eyeballs. That's why I'm here, because people watch what I do. They care what I do, whether they're on my team, they want me to win, whether they're waiting for me to fail, doesn't matter. They're watching, and that's the currency, attention. So my question would be, for the people who have a problem with my position in the WWE, who's watching you?
Play Carrions.
All right, well, because I know Paul wants to.
Because play carrions.
Yeah, we'll go to Karrion Kross next.
You know, I try. I try to not hate Logan Paul.
Yeah,
I do. And I think he's done extremely well in the ring. It's clear he's good at it.
yeah.
But just because you can spout off on social media does not mean you should.
But that's how he rolls. That is how he rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before we get to even more talks this week and people going up to the roster and Natty being a badass that she is, because we love you, Natty, here is Karrion Kross's response to Logan Paul.
It's been brought to my attention that somebody in WWE thinks that his peers have a problem with his position in the company. He still doesn't get it. No one has a problem with his position. The problem is that for some people who have put 20, even 30 years in, they were told that there was a certain skill set that they had to acquire. Putting time in was going to equate to having very particular opportunities. Those opportunities don't seem to be available for those people now because they did not build a brand outside of the company. And for an extended period of time, no one was allowed to build a brand outside of a company. That's the issue. That's the problem. This person who believes that everyone has a problem with him, it's not about him. Anyone could be him, and people would have a problem with that. If people were told when they went to professional wrestling schools that they had to build a brand outside of the company in order to position them better, to have the opportunities that they could knock out of the park, that's exactly what they would have done. Professional wrestlers, in my opinion, have the strongest and greatest work ethic in the world. And if someone would have told them that this is what they had to do, that's what they would have done. Now for some of those people, it's too late. So I asked that person, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? Are we just going to wipe out an entire group of performers that have been doing this for an extended period of time because it's impossible for them to catch up to that advantage? Me personally, I'm actually learning from that person. I see how the business is responding to that person. I don't dislike that person. I think that person's great, which I've been on record to say. I like that person. I think they're very cunning. I think that they do the things that I wish Sami Zayn would do, and then he'd be world champion. I just don't think he still gets it. And I'm actually shocked that he's rattled in the way that he is about this, because he doesn't have to be. But here we are. I think you guys get it, though.
Yerp.
I don't need to say anything because that's hitting the nail on the head.
Mm-hmm.
The respect and admiration that I have for that gentleman continues to grow.
Oh, yeah.
Why that man is not in the Money in the Bank ladder match is beyond me.
So tomorrow's final match.
Why has Chad Gable gotten not one but two opportunities to get into Money in the Bank?
Well, Grande Americano.
I don't give a shit, whichever way you want to look at it.
So
why has Chad Gable had two opportunities?
So I understand the El Grande Americano and AJ Styles, but I mean, CM Punk is a former two-time Money in the Bank because Seth is in it, but CM Punk does not need to win that qualifier. It should either be AJ or Grande, but for me, AJ Styles. But also the fact that Karrion Kross, like you guys mentioned, is not in this. I think we're going to get a Sami Zayn match, but still, if you really want somebody to be in it, why not Karrion Kross? Do we really need it to be El Grande Americano, AJ, so Chad can wrestle twice in one day? AJ Styles would be awesome, and Punk doesn't really need to unless you can also advance that story without him being in Money in the Bank, like he cost Seth Rollins the Money in the Bank. But I don't know. That's how they booked it. And he's so good. Like that dude, watching him since TNA and the Indies and what he's done in this new run in WWE. The cheer, when he got the reaction that he got backstage with Sammy, like the people are listening. His matches with Tyler Bate and Dragon Lee on Main Event, like the people want us some Karrion Kross. Give us what we want, and what we want is Karrion Kross.
I mean, it's similar to Zack Ryder in 2012.
Oh God,
a guy that got himself over on his own, and the fans. If you listen to the fans, they will tell you what they want. They will tell you who they like. Daniel Bryan in WrestleMania 30. Kofi Kingston, WrestleMania 35.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that the fans will tell you, he's our guy.
Yeah, fuck Vince for how both of those people lost their titles.
Agreed wholeheartedly.
Well, Daniel Bryan makes a little sense because, injured.
Injured, yeah. But Kofi, he can.
Kofi,
Big E deserves so much better.
Same thing.
And speaking of people who just deserve all the respect and love, man, we got to talk about our girl Natty again, man. Man, I watched Evolve this week, and what a triple threat, fatal four-way we had elimination with Kylie Ray, Wendy Chu, Callie Armstrong, and Kendall Gray. Man, these girls, if you've not checked out Evolve, which you should on Tubi,
watch it. Watch this match.
Watch this match.
These girls kicked ass.
It's so good. And next week we got the men to become Evolve World Champion. Like, they're pushing people. They put Troy Yearwood and Lee Laurel from LFG on this show to get better and to grow. Like this, folks, we talk about everything with wrestling. There's so much to be consumed in 1 week, but Evolve is definitely one that should not be slept on. If you have Tubi, it's free. Watch Evolve because it's good shit. But Natty, she was given the belt to Callie, who won, Callie Armstrong. And Natty wrote, Natalya will put up with a lot of shit, but Natty will not. Noted. So I'm going to tell you right now, much like we had with Charlotte and Natalya back in the day, if you give me Callie Armstrong and Natty for the Evolve Women's Championship, I am here for it. But here's what happened with this girl, Natty and Callie Armstrong. Just snatched that belt right out of her hand. My goodness. And they're building this young lady as a great heel for this division. I'm for it. I am all for it.
And that's a nice looking belt too.
It is. Like
both of them are beautiful belts.
So I definitely suggest anyone, if you've not tuned into Evolve, you should. Daniel, you definitely got to get on the Evolve train, man. You got to get on the Evolve train. And speaking of getting on the train, we will talk about the other final news and notes from this week. So everybody was shocked, much like Paul Morales was, because he was getting ready to rant. Paul was not a happy man when this happened this past week on NXT. So the main event was Stephanie Vaquer against Jacy Jayne for the NXT Women's Championship. And then Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix pulled the ruse that they were all upset. And then Fallon Henley hits a 619, a friggin' feint kick onto Stephanie Vaquer, and then the friggin' forearm from Jacy Jayne, 1, 2, 3. Friggin' Mike Rome was like in shock. Everybody in the audience was shocked. And Jacy Jayne is the new NXT Women's Champion. And then you find out that Stephanie Vaquer, who we mentioned earlier is going to be in the Money in the Bank qualifier tomorrow on Raw, is on Raw. Jordan Grace, who lost to Stephanie Vaquer at Battleground, is going to SmackDown. Ethan Page, who beat Ricky Starks for that NXT North American Championship. Turns out Ricky Saints looks to be getting called up to the roster. But Paul, let's start with our girl Stephanie Vaquer, because you were not a happy camper when Jacy Jayne won. You were pissed. You were like the guy in the audience. He was just.
I have since calmed down.
Yes, you were upset.
I have since calmed down, and let me break it down for you.
Okay.
So, what is the one thing that now Jacy Jayne has been there for a while? She's been through a couple of different character changes since she's been in NXT.
Right.
But I saw something that somebody said about her specifically. And now the one thing that she did was she put over somebody before she left.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't just hold on to the title, let them, basically like retire as champion or whatever, or just, have to relinquish the championship to just anybody. What she did is that she put over somebody in hopes that JCJ will be able to elevate that title to something a little bit, a little bit of prestige. And the direction that they're going, I really, really hope that they have her there for a little while as champion, because I have a feeling that there is somebody that could be coming to come and take that title from her. And I would like to see it down the road eventually. But I am happy that Stephanie did not just, hold on to the title. They had to vacate it, and then we ended up with some weird ass tournament for it. So
like Paige and Asuka did when they lost.
Yeah. So I'm glad that she dropped it to somebody who was, if we had already speculated on our last show that she was going to be called up to the main roster, and
Jordan Grace.
Jordan was going to be brought up to the main roster. So we're getting a lot more women on the main roster, which is great.
My thing too is
it's sorely needed.
Oh yeah, and I think my thing that pissed me off with the IWC discourse this week was, it's a downgrade now because JC Jane is the champ. I'm like, first of all, hold up right now. JC Jane has been there for X amount of years now. Toxic Attraction was over as shit. Mandy Rose was the women's champ. Her and Gigi Dolan were the tag champs. She's in Fatal Influence. She's a great heel. She's a bitchy heel that you want to see get her ass kicked, and she has worked her buns off these last 4 years in NXT. So it's definitely rightfully so that she got a singles win. And I think this is going to do wonders for JC Jane. And people are acting like the fact that Julia Vaquer and Jordan Grace are all being caught up. Oh, God, now with NXT. I'm like, you realize the talent that are in NXT right now, like the Jada Parkers, the Thea Hales, Zarya, and Sol Ruka, who.
But it's in good hands.
It is. That's the
they
problem.
are in good hands with and mind you, we weren't expecting. If you've been in WWE, hold on, let me try that again. If you're a wrestling fan and you know that these women have been popular in other places, specifically Stardom, Marigold, where Stephanie Vaquer was from, TNA, which we all know that where Jordan Grace was from. She's been there for 6-7 years, I believe, something like that.
2018. Yep.
What we know is that they weren't going to be in NXT for long. We knew that they weren't going to be mainstays in NXT. We knew that eventually they would get called up, and they are, and that's a good thing for them. Look, Julia's already up on SmackDown.
She's in the Money.
Roxanne Perez is already on Raw.
Awesome.
They lost 4 women, but of all the women that are still there on that roster, oh my God, it is still a stacked roster.
And you know what? I'll say it right now. I'm gonna make a prediction. You're gonna have Britt Baker. Guarantee she's coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Mariah May probably will do a brief NXT run. And when Vaquer and Julia got signed, and there were reports they would not be in NXT long,
mm-hmm.
and they weren't.
Yeah, and they're both former world champions.
I mean, Mariah May coming in too. Like, it's imminent that she. And forget the damn sickos are turning on her because, first of all,
dude, she had one feud. One
feud, Tony Storm.
With Tony Storm, and she came over from Stardom
and killed it.
She has said, even when she was in Stardom, her aspirations was to come to WWE. That was when she was there. All of a sudden, now it's like,
oh, how dare you?
How dare you? Oh my God, now you're going to the competition. Oh my God, y'all a bunch of petty ass bitches need to shut the fuck up.
Yep. She wanted to be there. Same with Stephanie Vaquer when she wrestled Mercedes. Her destination was WWE. She didn't want to go to AEW, but she took the opportunity. Well, if you get an opportunity, you fucking take it.
There were other reasons why I think.
I know, but still.
Yeah, when you drop her off at an airport, or when she comes into an airport, she's expecting at least somewhat of something, to be there to come and fucking pick her up, and considering that nobody was there to come and pick her up, well,
I'd be pissed.
I'd be pissed too.
That's the thing. It's like, but Mariah May, she's going to do so well. And I think with a lot of the women who we could see coming to WWE, they got this little pay-per-view called Evolution coming back. And I think you're going to get more than what you got in the first one. You're going to see AAA women. You're going to see NXT women. I'm sure you'll see some TNA women. You're going to stack this motherfucker up.
Exactly.
And
at some point in time, yes, I believe Britt Baker will end up in WWE, and I think what's going to happen is that she's going to be one of those main roster stars that are just you're going to see. Charlotte's, and I'm not trying to use this as an ageism thing, but I know Charlotte had said that she at some point in time she wanted to have kids. She wanted to have kids of her own. Her going away, she wanted to retire. She didn't want to go into her 40s and not have kids. So that's something that she had said before previously. At least that's what I've read. There are other women on the roster who have said that they want to take time off to go have children, to go have a family. We've already seen Alexa do it. We've already seen Becky do it. Why not? And Bianca Belair has a daughter too. So does Jade Cargill. So Naomi's another one that actually said that she wants to have kids too. So,
and let's be real here. Charlotte Flair, Ashley Flair, whatever you want to call her, she just turned 39.
So she's almost
biological clock is ticking, and the older a woman gets, pregnancies become more risky. No matter how healthy and how in shape a person is, it's nature. It's how it is.
I would also like to thank Marissa Tomei over here with the biological clock is ticking like it's my cousin Vinny, Mr. Daniel Crimmins. But no, I would. So I mean, no, he is absolutely.
My wife's gonna like that one, by the way.
Yeah.
that's one of our favorite movies, by the way. We love My Cousin Vinny.
Oh.
Shout out to Marissa Tomei.
Good Lord, that was such a great movie. Would you give a fuck what the son of a bitch who shot you was wearing? Yes, I know.
No, the defense is wrong. Are you sure? I am positive.
Anyway, yes.
I ain't never seen that movie. What's the name of it again?
My Cousin Vinny. The biological clock is ticking. No, Dan.
My biological clock is ticking like this.
Oh,
I loved her in The Wrestler.
That too.
Yeah, she was really good.
Great movie.
Great movie. And I will say this:
which Hulk Hogan was never approached to do that movie.
You know, I was supposed to be in My Cousin Vinny, brother. No, you weren't. So,
did you know Hulk Hogan was supposed to play Spider-Man?
Of course, I know. That was not. Bonesaw McGraw was not supposed to be Randy Savage. That was for Hulk Hogan.
Did you know that Mel Gibson initially approached Hulk Hogan to play Jesus Christ in The Passion of the Christ?
I mean, hey, man. I mean, Hulk Hogan was supposed to be in Guns N' Roses. Don't you understand? Remember?
Hey, didn't you know he was supposed to be one of the Batmans?
Did you know that Hulk Hogan was supposed to be the lead singer of Metallica?
Oh my God, man! That would have been awesome.
I do remember, and I'm not in all seriousness. I do remember. I think it was them that he said that after Cliff Burton, he did have an opportunity to join them, which no, he didn't.
I thought, you know what? I've seen his guitar work before. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it somewhere. Image here. I've seen it somewhere before. Oh yeah, Vince McMahon. Stand back.
Stand back. That's a fact. Did you also know that for oh God, can you imagine Hulk Hogan and Metallica? We're off to Neverland, dude.
Brother.
Oh, God. All right.
Oh God, the egos of Lars and James alone.
So, besides Hulk Hogan, fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan.
We made history at NXT Battleground as Whoop That Trick Williams defeated Joe Hendry for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship.
I wore my shirt. I believe in Joe Hendry. I still believe in Joe Hendry.
We still believe in you, Joe Hendry.
We believe in you, Joe. And Carlos Silva was sitting, the TNA president, in the crowd, shocked. And Trick Williams will now be defending that TNA World Championship this coming Tuesday on NXT against Mike Santana. Mike Santana wrestled on NXT against Tavian Heights. Oh my God, dude! Like,
and can we just say, Mike Santana? He is an elite wrestler.
Oh, I see what you did there. That's another one where you fumbled, Tony, because Mike Santana has done some of his best stuff, reinvented himself in TNA. Like, this is and they even said backstage they had high praise for Mike Santana. Like, I could see him going to WWE, put him in NXT. Like, let's go. But Trick, what do you guys think? The first time since, like Dan's mentioned with ECW, with Taz beating Mike Awesome, Kenny Omega beating Rich Swann, friggin' Christian beating Kenny Omega. So the first time in 4 years that a non-TNA contracted wrestler is the World Heavyweight Champion. And this is bigger than those other 2 times.
I didn't think they were actually going to do it.
No, I was shocked too. I'm like, oh my God, they actually did it.
I remember watching it. It was just like, and I remember watching it. It was like, and you hear the 3, and I'm like, God damn.
Well, they did it. They did it.
Well, I'll be damned. Like,
I'll be damned.
And it's saying a lot because as soon as it happened, we were in our group chat and we were like, what in the hell just happened? That was the same thing that happened with Stephanie Vacour. We said the exact same thing after Tuesday. What in the hell just fucking happened?
I would compare Carlos Silva's reaction to Angry Miz Girl.
Yes, and I agree wholeheartedly on that. My thing too is I think you both can agree that this is, and again, not taken away from Kenny Omega and Christian Cage.
No, not at all.
But this is way bigger than Kenny Omega and Christian Cage winning the TNA title in 2021. It really is.
Because I think the reason that is for years, WWE was walled off.
Yes.
There was like a brick wall. You know, it was like the Berlin Wall. Like, it just didn't happen.
No.
Now, is this something that Vince would have ever allowed?
No.
And it makes you want to see, like, okay, well, where's this going?
That's the thing too. You have so many things they could do. I mean, we mentioned bringing AJ Styles for a TNA appearance, get some TNA originals up in this bitch. Hell, R-Truth, now that he's gone, come on, Ron, go back to TNA. You're a former NWA World Champion. You can make so many appearances and so many matches happen. Like, it's an exciting time. We mentioned every time we sound like broken records, but like TNA and this NXT partnership, and people thought it was just going to be like, it's really taken into its own here.
No, everybody thought it was going to be one-sided.
Yes.
Everybody and their mother started on their fucking rants. Oh, well, WWE isn't going to do this. Oh, they're not going to allow them to do that. Or they're just going to do this and this and that. And it's just going to be all WWE stars winning all the time. Nope. What had happened with Joe Hendry? This guy right here.
Yes, that's
guy right here.
What
happened with this guy as the TNA champion? He was not only in the Royal Rumble, he got a fucking WrestleMania appearance. Not only did he get a WrestleMania appearance, he got a fucking WrestleMania shirt.
And not only that, he got a WrestleMania match with one of the greatest of all time.
And Randy Orton. But that's the thing too. That's my thing. It's like, that's what put it over the top for me. When the TNA World Champion is wrestling at WrestleMania, that's how you know this is not fucking one-sided. And I mean, you had Moose against Lexus King for the X Division title, the Hardys against Fraxium for the TNA tag titles. You've had Moose and friggin' Obafemi for the NXT championship. Like, you've had so much stuff on here, so I don't want to hear that it's fucking one-sided or WWE's trying to monopolize shit. Shut the fuck up. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it like we all do.
That's all we need to do is just enjoy what the fuck is being presented to us, especially just the partnership in itself. Yes, we can gripe about TKO doing the dumb shits that they do and letting people go, and you know how they're trying to corner this market of wrestling, you know, to make it just strictly them. But at the end of the day, we're all wrestling fans. We all just have to enjoy what the hell is out there. Yes, you could like who you like, but come on, stop being dicks.
Speaking of a dick, and I will say this, we mentioned Logan Paul earlier. This is going to be my final point I want to mention before we close this out. So SmackDown featured the Cody Rhodes John Cena face-off, the face-to-face. Cody's back with the libation. I know the libations. You know, Cody's like, I drowned my sorrows, and you said you were going to do it, John. You were going to ruin wrestling, and you did, and I'm not going to let you do it again. And then John Cena comes out in his robotic voice. You know, when I think of hustle, loyalty, and respect, I think of no one other than Logan Paul. And I know he's trying because of the Let's Go Cena sucks. They just try to get booed across the board. But John, stop it. You know damn well that you don't think Logan Paul's hustle, loyalty, and respect. You shut your punk ass mouth, John.
I've said it before. I will say it again.
Yes,
This Cena heel turn has not worked. They fucked it up.
it's mid. It's very mid.
When you had Cena at WrestleMania doing the appearances,
Being all happy and go lucky.
being the face John Cena, no.
My thing too is
You shouldn't have done anything.
Well, my thing too is that also kind of irks me about it too, is the fact that everybody's comparing like, well, who's worse, John Cena and his heel turn or John Moxley with the Death Riders? And I'm like, I'm gonna say it over and over again, like a Tim McGraw Nelly track. It's still John Moxley, Neo-Nox Mox, and the Romper Stomper Gang is way worse than fucking John Cena's heel turn. Like, you could say what you want about John Cena's heel turn being mid, much like Dan said, and how he's making the appearances, but at least John Cena and Jey Uso. Jey Uso eliminated him from the Royal Rumble. Makes sense. Cody Rhodes and John Cena. Makes sense. Logan Paul with Jey Uso and how the Saturday Night's Main Event match happened and how it ended. Makes sense. So you're putting them in there, and I understand that. John Moxley and the Neo-Nox Mox and the Romper Stomper Gang for 9 months has just been crap. And also the fact that we still don't know why they want to take over AEW. And we still don't know why after 9 fucking months. John Cena, at least I can make sense of this somewhat, even though the thing has been mid. The whole thing, I'm excited for the tag match, but yeah, John Cena's heel turn has just been very mid in my eyes. Paul, what are your thoughts? What's worse, John Cena or Neo-Nox Mox?
I don't know. I'm just hoping that I can get out of the forum by the time everybody starts piling into the Intuit Dome, because man, that's going to be some traffic right there and by the airport.
Oh yeah. Are you guys?
But luckily, Paul knows the back street, so this way at least I know where the hell to go and how to get the hell out of places. So
what's
I mean, that's like, I mean, I gotta figure LAX traffic on a Saturday is going to be batshit crazy.
yeah, because you have to understand is that 405 freeway, LAX, Intuit Dome, Kia Forum on that side. So and SoFi Stadium also, but ain't nobody there this weekend, I don't think. Hopefully nobody's there this upcoming weekend. Oh God, please nobody be there this weekend.
No, there's something there. There's something there this weekend, but not next weekend.
Okay, see.
But yeah, I still go with Neo-Nox Mox being worse than John Cena. But yeah,
we could debate that to the end of the day. But I mean, it is what it is, and it truly is a fucking clusterfuck of fuckery with that whole bullshit.
It is.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Thank you, Dwayne. But with John, like I said, he's trying, but you can tell where they're going, that Cody's going to be the one to make him see the light, and Cody's going to win the title back from John. Do you guys say he turns face by SummerSlam or after SummerSlam?
I say it's Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry?
See, I think realistically, I think Cena's going to walk out on Logan Paul.
Well, they did show some dissension with that before the brawl. So
I said that to you last night, Mike. I think that's the way, because the way he looked at him, I would not be shocked if we get Logan Paul versus Cena.
Well, they should, because he eliminated him in the Royal Rumble. So I mean, like, come on, there's an opportunity there.
Yeah, we'll see what he does with his Peacemaker.
That fucking line, freaking Cody Rahim.
Can't tell me that line wasn't fucking good. It was.
You gotta go polish.
You know,
you're gonna go polish his Peacemaker.
There's a reason why I say Jay and Cody have got to win this. 2 words.
Yeet.
Media scrum.
4 letters, 1 word.
Yeet. I agree.
You can't tell me you don't want another one.
I want my, you know what? I want my nephew to do that when he graduates this week. I seriously do. Louis, I'm taking this clip. What I want you to do when you walk down that aisle, I'm gonna say 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet.
Your Tio wants you to do it.
Oh boy. Are you gonna have him do the EO Sky like that one kid did? Like they started doing the
No. I want him to do the 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet, because that's all I've been seeing graduates do.
Yeah, they're doing the Yeet and the EO Sky fucking trend, which is hilarious to me. I think that's
great. I saw a bunch of graduates doing that too.
Who was that one kid that gave his friend an RKO at his graduation? I thought that was great. He ran up
that
on
one
him.
That one was awesome too.
Did you see that it happened at I think it was a volleyball game or a basketball game, and Orton was there?
Yes.
And he kind of looks. He's just like
fucking doing my shit.
Did you see him mutter like kind of like said under his breath, weak ass RKO.
Yes, I know what you're talking. Oh, that's the influence of professional wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. And we will be touching base next weekend to cover and talk about the fallout from When Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank. And Paul, I believe are you going to be at When Worlds Collide?
I'll be at Worlds Collide, baby. Me and my wife will be there because this guy is going to be there.
Hell yeah. So we will touch base on that next weekend. And guys, before we close this out, Paul, where can we follow you on the socials? The floor is yours, man.
Of course, right there, the Dead Man of RWT. You could see me. You could go on X. You can go into my link. Go into my bio. My link tree is there to all my social medias, of course. Also, I also want to plug another thing for my friends over at Kicking Out at 2. They have a big announcement coming June 10th. I have no idea what it is. I kind of made a joke that I was joining the show, but no, I am not. I am just promoting for them, in which case I suggest you guys go over there and check them out too, man, because they are a bunch of lovely people and I love them both. I might. Hi, Tori. Oh, hey, DC, my brother from another mother. Where the fuck can we find your ass?
Maggle's going to put the links from my stuff down below. Pundit just recorded that again today. Finally have it to where I'm happy with it. Once I upload it, do a little bit of light editing, should be up tomorrow afternoon, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, no midgets, right?
No.
Okay.
That's
my
Mike's
brother.
show.
My brother, Michael. Where can we find you, my brother?
SM Show.
And don't forget to list your Pornhub too.
MCL92 SM Show 1 on Twitter, LFCfights.com and StephenMikeShow.com. Instagram, Larkin_92 and MLarkinMB. Check out this fine YouTube channel, S&M Network Shows, which features The Stephen Mike Show, the weekly review with these two gentlemen, Uncaged with Dan and I. Our latest episode will be out this week, featuring our good old friend Robert Davis as part of Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling with Nicola and I, as well as the Kicking It with the TSK, where we touched upon the life and times of Sabu. We also have, as well, we mentioned Stephen Mike Show, On the Mic with Mike, Pop Culture History Podcast, LFC Podcast, and so much more on this fine channel. We appreciate each and every one of you who like, comment, subscribe, or just enjoy our crazy selves doing what we do. There's a lot to take in and drink in, so enjoy, absorb, and adapt. And
drink it in, man.
So, for Paul Morales, for Daniel Crimmins, my name is Mike Larkin. Thank you for listening to the weekly review. We'll pay you!
We'll pay you!
Yeah! Yeet!
Yeet!
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up.
The past is gone. Now's the future.